Welcome back. For our last trip of 2022, we headed to Valencia. Come along as we delve into the culture, experience the vibrant nightlife, and finally discover the elusive Holy Grail. Stick around until the end to find out how this accidentally turned into a free holiday. Welcome to The Right Life. We're Catherine and Edward, a married couple based in London with a passion for travel and experiencing the world together. On our channel, we share our adventures from uncovering hidden gems to learning about new cultures and discovering amazing historical sites. Join us as we explore the world.
Here we are at Citizen Girardi. It's a private apartment and so far it looks very good. What do you think?
I think it's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm alright and you're okay.
It's alright.
It's okay. Yeah, it's just okay. It's not bad for 100 nicker a night, is it?
No.
It's got a kitchen, modern TV.
It's got a room for you here on the left.
It's got a light that doesn't work. Hey! Yeah, so as I say, it's got a nice bath, shower, toilet, sink, everything you need. There's a second bedroom that I might be using if I start snoring later. And there's the master. So it's all important view of the skips.
No.
Oh no, got a little side street. So how's the wine?
Pretty darn good.
Do you enjoy the olives?
I am. I ate half of them. I'm hungry.
No. I think the weather's turning, it might drop down less than 20 degrees.
That would be upsetting.
Oh well. It's quite an interesting place.
That evening, we headed to flamenco show at the Café del Duende, which is just far enough out of the city center to have more locals than tourists.
Good morning. I'm a little bit worse for wear today. I had a few vinos yesterday. But we are in Valencia. And today, a bit late in the day, we're going to the Valencia Market, which is behind me, see if we can find coffee and something to eat. I'll just see the where hams go to heaven. It's all the famous Iberico hams. This place is ginormous.
In the center of the market was the most epic nativity scene in the world.
They've really gone all out, haven't they? They've got a waterfall here. Someone's doing their washing. Well, we've just come out of the market, we bought some cheese and we bought some wine and we bought some gooseneck barnacles. Which,
we're going to attempt to cook them.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So yeah, it's insanity in there. We took some footage, you'll be able to see that later, but well, you've just seen it. That was really good experience, wasn't it?
Well, I'd come back to Valencia for that market. And get a flat so I can cook all the things. Or you can cook all the things for me.
Oh, right, okay.
I'll drink the vermouth.
Oh yeah, we bought some vermouth as well. Anyway, bye adventurers.
In this week's episode of Cooking with Edward, we're going to attempt gooseneck barnacles.
Boiling pot of water on the table. with some salt in it. I don't know if this is working. So these are the offending crustaceans.
And they cost, this was 15 euros for a quarter kilo. 4-minute timer. Alexa, 4 minutes. We didn't bring Alexa.
15 quid on the plate.
Perfect.
So we've come to Santa Catalina, which looks like a tapas bar on the outside, but it's more like a kind of milkshake type bar, you know, and but they do coffees and things like that, and pastries and lots of different desserts. So we've come for two of the main things you can get in Valencia. Horchata, which is this. Just gonna have a taste. Oh, it's lovely. Which is basically, it's made out of tiger nuts, which I believe is like it's not a nut, it's like a tuber in the potato family. And these are called, believe it or not, these are called fartons, which is not something we need in the right household at the moment. But yeah, so apparently you're supposed to dip them into the horchata. So you won't like it. It's absolutely wonderful, and yeah, something a bit different. And obviously the decor in here, it's very cool. Can highly recommend Santa Catalina and Valencia. Can highly recommend Santa Catalina in Valencia. The service is very quick, and it tastes really nice. I'd suggest you have a taste.
Next, we are headed to the Valencian Archaeological Museum. Valencia was founded by the Romans in 138 AD. This museum takes you down not just to the Roman street level, but throws in a bit of Visigoth and medieval history too. Have you noticed anything about this museum? No, look. It's underneath the fountain in the square. The area behind me was the Forum, but then in the Middle Ages, this is where an almshouse was built. This horseshoe-shaped asp was erected on the rubble of the jail where St. Vincent of Valencia is said to have been martyred. That was definitely a fun museum, but I think we're both feeling a little cream crackered at the moment, so we might go and just chill in the square.
I never thought I'd hear myself say this when I get out of this sun.
In December.
Yeah. I mean, it's in my eyes. It's this ball of gas giant in the clouds.
There's an American shop.
So you reckon each different carving is a story?
Yeah, but I don't know what any of them are.
I don't know your
Like
Bible.
there's an angel there. Look, this guy's getting beat up, but there's some angels there as well. That dude's on a horse. That guy's asleep.
Pretty impressive though, isn't it?
Yeah. This is what happens when you take a medieval art and architecture course and they cancel half of it because they have an IT meltdown.
Oh.
I can't identify any of these things and it's not my fault. I tried.
First class, middle class problems.
Not a real problem. Valencia Cathedral was consecrated in 1238, but the structure we see today was started in 1262 and took about 200 years to build. Most of it is in the Gothic style. You see the 13th century ribbed vaults.
There's some really old pictures there, paintings. carpenter to me. It looks like the FA Cup.
The Holy Grail is the cup at the top. The base was added many centuries later. It is said that 2,000 years ago, St. Peter first brought the cup to Rome, but then in 257 AD, it was moved to Spain to protect it during a time of religious upheaval. That part of the story is obviously hard to verify. However, we do know that this chalice was given to the cathedral in 1416 to pay a debt. This cup is just one of approximately 200 other contenders vying for the title of the Holy Grail. This rose window is quite interesting because it has a Star of David in it, as it marks where the wall of the synagogue used to stand. This chapel had been set on fire during the Spanish Civil War and basically wasn't able to be restored until the 1970s. Intrepid explorers trying to find out what's underneath the cathedral. And what?
An ancient graveyard and human remains.
Yes, and what are under here is an ancient graveyard and human remains. And, well, this is creepy.
This still is it, too.
We found the human remains.
You know what else is down here, don't you? Ghosts. That's where they buried the English language, because all the signage is only in Spanish now.
Well, we've just left the Cathedral of Valencia, and yeah, I have to say I am so impressed. The last time I was here, I think in 2007, they had definitely done an immense amount of restoration, and everything's in English now. And what I think is really nice, what I'm really surprised by, is I've been around all over Spain, really. And over and over again, you spend 10, 15, 25 euros to get into somewhere, and you don't get any information about where you are, where it's all in Spanish.
It's kind of a guided tour, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the phone, it's really good.
And really, I could have spent another hour in there listening to the rest of it, but
I'll give over. You listen to like 99% of it.
so if you're in Valencia, it's 8 euros, follow the tour. It's awesome. But now it's time for a drink.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, more vermouth for me.
That evening, we went to the intimate Hamon Haman to check out their excellent tasting menu. At 42 euros each, it was a little more than we typically spend on dinner in Spain, but it was worth the splurge.
Well, the weather has definitely turned, but we're English, well I'm English, so we'll find something to do. Bit of brunch, and then maybe a museum or an art gallery.
Ooh.
So cultured, like a fine bacteria, like Legionella, thrive in water. Behind me is the Fine Art Museum of Valencia. We're just going to head in now because it's raining.
The museum, which is housed in a 17th century palace, has a lovely collection spanning the 14th to 17th centuries. Most of the artworks were created by local artists, but there are a few big names like Goya and El Greco.
Right, so we're just finished with the Fine Art Museum of Valencia, and there's a lot of traffic behind Catherine, so you might not be able to hear me. We're going to head back into town now. It's still raining, but it's a light drizzle, which we're used to.
What did you think of the museum?
It's very good, but there's not many artists that you'd recognise in there unless you're a die-hard Valencian art expert. Yeah, I mean, there's no Picassos or anything like that in there. A lot of religious-based art, probably a third of the whole place is all religious-based art. And then the rest of it is like late 1800s, early 1900s. But yeah, it was good. It was free. So what's happened then?
For the first time ever in 11 and a half years or more that we've been traveling together, long time, our flight home was actually canceled, and we only found out because I happened to check the app to double check what time our flight was, and there was no flights. So we've managed to book ourselves on another flight tomorrow and extend our hotel stay by a night, call our jobs and tell them that we're not going to be here tomorrow, and now we're stuck in Valencia for us for another 24 hours.
There's worse places to be stuck, isn't there?
There are. And you know what? If this is the worst travel thing that happens to me, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah,
well, I will complain to BA a lot because they should have sent me a text message.
You get stuck into a few cervezas and some paella, which I haven't tried yet. And yeah.
But these things happen, and you do have to be prepared, even when they kind of suck.
Try to be upbeat. You're getting an extra day's holiday.
I am getting an extra day's holiday. I'm actually really chuffed.
If only the weather was improved.
I know. Actually, it's supposed to be nice.
If only
tomorrow.
our flight home was at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening instead of 2 o'clock. There was no other flight.
The tomorrow night flight. There was no tomorrow night
No,
flight.
it's 2 o'clock. That's it.
Right. So we're gonna get home at some point. It'll be fine. At least we're in Spain and not somewhere cold.
See.
After exploring a new Tusk neighborhood, we finally had some paella.
So what we got?
Paella.
And does it look good?
It's bonus paella and it looks amazing.
They got a band and everything.
Yeah, it could be better. If you have to get stuck somewhere, this isn't bad. The next morning, we headed to a much quieter Central Market for breakfast.
Look at the size of those tomatoes. Just shows you all the crap they send to the UK, innit?
When British Airways cancelled our original flight, they were responsible for reimbursing us for costs incurred for staying an additional day. This is despite the fact that our flight was cancelled due to weather. We just needed to hold on to the receipts. Our new flight was then delayed for mechanical reasons for over 3 hours. This entitled us to €250 each in compensation. This rule is applicable to any flight to or from the EU. Once I submitted the claim through BA's web portal, it was only a few weeks before the funds showed up, covering just about all costs of this holiday. Thank you for joining us on our last trip of 2022. I think the year really went out on a high note. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment below. There are more adventures to come.
What's wrong with this situation? Yeah. Not good.
Oh, look, there's a Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell, Five Guys, just like being in America.
Exactly like being in America.